Hello everyone, this is Vijay Lakshmi Sugnalli and this is my YouTube channel WinMaths. Here, this YouTube channel helps to those which are studied second PUC NCERT syllabus. I solve the examples, problems, exercise problems based on the syllabus and topic wise with related theory. This video contains basically reduced syllabus of Karnataka PU Board 2024 and 25 and also some basic results of particular syllabus for Karnataka CET examination. Here in this session we discuss the second PUC blueprint question paper pattern and model question paper based on the year 2024 and 25. Okay, here the first is weightage and framework of the each chapter. Here there are mainly 13 chapters are there, that is relations and functions, inverse functions. Here the first chapter relation and functions carries 9 marks. Total weightage of this chapter is 9 marks. Here the second chapter inverse trigonometric functions. Okay, this chapter contained 6 marks. Okay, then matrices. The chapter weightage of marks will be 9 marks. Here the fourth chapter is determinant. In the determinant chapter it has a weightage of 12 marks questions. Again the fifth chapter is continuity and differentiability. From these both concept carries 17 marks. Then the sixth chapter, based on the differentiability, we have studied the application of derivatives. Okay, here also we use the differentiability concept. For this chapter carries 8 marks. Then another one of the important concept, integral. This chapter contains 18 marks of weightage. Here this is the most of the marks carries chapter, but if you neglect it, it's okay. Otherwise you prepare well for this chapter. Okay, next, based on the integrals, we have discussed the next chapter, application of integrals. It carries 5 marks. The next concept, differential equation. This chapter carries 8 marks and the concept vectors. Okay, it means vector algebra, that carries 8 marks. Then the 11th chapter, 3D geometry. It carries 6 marks. The most important and easiest concept, linear programming. Here from this chapter we expect 6 marks. Again the last concept, probability. It carries 8 marks. Here we check the weightage of each chapter will be now. Here based on the weightage, whatever the questions. Okay, here the question patterns. Okay, here pattern of question paper, mainly the design of the question paper as well as the pattern of the question paper. Here mainly the question paper carries 5 part. Okay, the first part contains 20 questions. Okay, the first part contains 20 questions. They are all 20 questions are 1 mark questions. Here the 20 questions are divided into 2 parts. One is multiple choice questions and another part is fill in blanks. Here there are 15 questions are based on the multiple based questions. Okay, here for 15 questions the options will be given. There is a 4 options for each questions. Okay, here there is a 15 marks. Each question carries 1 marks and another one part will be the fill in blanks. Okay, fill in blanks type of questions. Here also they given some results of the brackets. Okay, here the questions will be 5 questions. Each question carries 1 marks. Next type of question will be 2 marks question. Here there are here there is a 9 questions. Here there is a 9 questions. Based on here 9 questions of 2 marks questions. Out of 9 questions we only answered for 6 questions. There are 3 extra questions they given. Okay, here there is a choice. Okay, there is a 6 questions will be selected and solved. Each carries 2 marks. Okay, here from this part we carries 12 marks. Okay, then the third part is part C. Here in the part C session we have 3 marks questions. There are 9 questions to be set here. We have to answer only for 6. Okay, we have to select any 6 questions out of 9. Each question carries 3 marks. We have to expect or we have getting 18 marks from this section. Okay, next section is part D. Here part D carries 5 marks questions. Okay, here part D carries 5 marks questions. There are 7 questions will be set in the part D session. We have to answer only for 4 questions. Okay, then the question must be asked from 7 specific topics. There are 7 questions are from the specific topics only. Okay, we will discuss the topics in later. Then the another one part, last part E. Okay, here in part E section there are 2 type of questions. One question carries 6 marks and another one questions carries 4 marks. Here there are 2 6 marks questions. Out of 2 questions we have to solve only 1 questions. Okay, and in 4 marks question we have there are 2 questions for 4 marks. We have to solve only 1 question. 6 marks questions carries 6 and 4 marks questions carries 4 marks. Okay, then questions must be asked from the 4 specific topics. From that 4 specific topics the questions will be carried. Okay, here there is a pattern of question paper. Overall the question paper contains a 120 marks. Okay, here for this year the overall question paper carries 125. In last year question paper there is a question paper set for 135 marks, but here there are some questions will be reduced. Okay, here this year can be set a new pattern. Okay, but this is also one of the good one. Next we discuss the weightage and what are the questions from that topics. Here the part A contain 20 questions. 15 questions will be multiple choice based questions and 5 marks is a fill in blanks questions. Here there is a one compulsory multiple choice MCQ questions from relations and functions. Okay, there is no 2 marks questions here. And part C. Okay, here part C carries a 3 marks question and from the part D there is a 1 mark question. There is total it carries 9 marks. Okay, There is a one MCQ questions usually ask for the relations. Okay, the multiple choice questions usually ask from the topic relations. So you have to read and work on the relations. They are reflexive condition, symmetric condition, as well as transitive condition. Then in part C, okay, there is a 3 marks questions. There is a 3 marks questions will be asked from the relations only. Okay, here from the relations concept, they have to we have to check. Okay, we have to check the conditions of reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. Based on these relations, the questions will be framed. And there is a last part D. In part D, there is a 5 marks question. The 5 marks questions will be from functions. Here in that functions, mainly they asked invertible and inverse function. Based on the invertible and inverse function, 5 marks questions will be framed here. Okay, total there is a 9 marks questions will be from relations and function. Then the second concept, inverse trigonometric function. Here the second concept, inverse trigonometric function. Here from inverse trigonometric function, there is a one MCQ questions. Most of the time the questions will be asked based on the principal values of the, or they asked range and principal value of domain, okay, of the 6 inverse trigonometric functions. Okay, then there is a 3 marks questions. The 3 marks questions will be, okay, then there is a 3 marks question. Usually for this trigonometric questions, there is a one applied questions here. Okay, there is a one applied questions will be asked from the properties, based on the property. Then there is a 2 marks questions in part B. Okay, in part B section, there is a 2 marks questions will be, the 2 marks questions is also asked for the properties of the trigonometric functions. Okay, overall this chapter carries 6 marks. The next concept, the chapter 3, matrices. Here the matrices chapter carries one multiple choice questions, and there is a one uh, there is a one 2 marks questions, sorry, and 3 marks question. Here from the 3 marks questions, usually for this 3 marks questions, the concept is symmetric and skew symmetric. Based on the symmetric and skew symmetric property, the questions will be framed most of the time. Okay, the questions will be framed based on the symmetric and skew symmetric concept. And there is a one important 5 marks questions will be asked from the matrices. Okay, the questions is based on the properties of the matrices. The property based on the properties are one, addition property, then associative law, commutative law, and for multiplication. Okay, based on these property, there is a one 5 marks questions will be asked for the matrices. Okay, total or overall the matrix chapter carries 9 marks. One question MCQ, then there is a one 3 marks question and one 5 marks question. Here the chapter 4, the chapter 4 is determinant. Okay, here overall there are 12 marks questions. Okay, this chapter carries 12 marks. One questions for the MCQ question. Okay, here the MCQ question will be framed by the property of the singularity or non singularity, or finding the x value when they given two determinants, or some remarks, notes, or some basics properties on the determinants. Okay, from these concept, there is a one determinant MCQ questions will be framed. Again, for 2 marks, there is a one questions, that in that determines finding the area. Okay, they given one questions from that is area of triangle, finding the area of triangle when the vertices are given. Okay, there is a 1 2 marks questions will be framed for the determinant. Here one of the important question, that is 5 marks. Here the 5 marks question usually for finding the inverse. Okay, by using the linear inequalities. Based on the linear inequalities, there is a 5 marks questions will be framed for the determinants for finding the inverse. Okay, for finding the inverse or calculating the values of x, y, z. Okay, next, the chapter continuity and differentiability. Here the chapter 5 continuity and differentiability carries or weightage 17 marks. Here this chapter is very important because from this chapter there is a 2 multiple choice questions and 1 fill in blanks questions, and 1 2 marks question, 1 3 marks question, as well as 1 5 marks question, other than with 1 4 marks question. Okay, here mainly, okay, here there are 2 questions asked for the MCQ. The 2 questions will be one questions from continuity concept and another one questions from the differentiability. Okay, next, there is a 1 fill in blanks questions. The questions will be framed for continuity concept, and there is a 1 2 marks question. The 2 marks questions will be framed for differentiability. Okay, the in that differentiability, there are some types of differentiable problems are there. For that concept, the 2 marks questions, 2 mark questions will be framed. Here for 3 marks, the questions will be asked for continuity concept. Here for that continuity concept, the questions will be framed for increasing and decreasing concept. Okay, the questions will be framed from increasing and decreasing concept, and there is a 5 marks. Okay, then there is a 3 marks question. That 3 marks questions is also from continuity and differentiability. Sometimes it asks from continuity or it from differentiability. There is a 1 5 marks questions will be asked. The 5 marks questions completely based on the differentiability of second order. Okay, there is a question will be framed from the second order. Then there is a 4 marks questions. Okay, there is a 4 marks questions from the continuity concept only. The 4 in that continuity concept, we have to find the k value. Okay, there is a one question to ask the find the k value by using the continuity concept. Here I forgot one question in the determinant. Here also 4 marks questions will be from determinant concept. In the determinant concept, the 4 marks questions will be from inverse function. Okay, the 4 marks questions from the inverse of the given determinant. Okay, total the continuity and differentiability chapter carries 17 marks. Then the sixth chapter, application of derivatives. Okay, here from the application of derivatives there are two MCQ questions will be framed. Here two applications, two MCQ questions based on the applied questions. Here the questions of are framed on the application of derivatives, and there is a one fill in blanks questions, and there is a one 2 marks question, that is asked questions for finding the radius or volume based on surface area. We have to the questions will be framed, and also one 3 marks questions from the application of derivative. Mainly here on the application of derivatives there is a increasing and absolutely increasing and maximal and minima. Okay, there is a one questions will be framed for local maxima and local minima. Okay, overall this chapter carries 8 marks. Here one of the important concept is integral. Okay, some students are think integrals is a difficult concept. When you understood good, the integral is easy, other than it is difficult you all. Okay, there is a two questions, the two MCQ questions from integral concept. There are two questions are based on the property of the exponential. Okay, there is a two MCQ questions are based on the um, exponential function, integral of exponential property. And there is a one 2 marks question. The 2 marks question is of the type integration by parts. Okay, there is a 2 marks questions is integration by parts. Again there is a one questions from 3 marks. Here the one question from 3 marks, it is integration by partial fraction. Okay, here there is a one 3 marks question of the type integration by partial fraction. Again there is a one 5 marks question. Here for the 5 marks question, it is based on the uh, main 6 properties. Okay, here there are 6 properties or formulas for integral partial fraction formulas. Based on the formula we have to in this section the 5 marks questions is divided into 2 marks. There is a formula. Okay, we have to solve the formula for 3 marks, and there is a one question based on the formula we have to solve, that is 2 marks. Okay, overall there is a one 5 marks question, and there is a one 6 marks question, and that is based on the definite integrals. Okay, there is a one question from the 6 marks is by the properties of the definite integral. There are 7 main definite integral properties are there. Based on the out of 7 properties there is a one property asked for the examination for 6 marks. Overall this chapter carries 18 marks. Okay, then application of integrals. The next chapter 5 marks chapter is application of integrals. Here there is a only one 5 marks questions will be asked for application of integral. The questions will be framed finding the area. Okay, here finding the area of the circle, parabola, ellipse. Okay, based on the three concept there is a one 5 marks questions will be framed here. Okay, Next chapter, the question chapter 9, differential equation. Here the chapter differential equation carries 8 marks. Here there is a one questions will be framed for fill in blanks questions. Okay, then there is a 1 2 marks questions. Here also a simple questions for finding the solution of the given equation. Okay, then there is a 1 5 marks question. Here the 5 marks questions is framed differential. Here 5 marks question is based on theory concept. Here there is a one theory based on the theory. There is a one problem question will be asked for the differential equation. Okay, total or overall the chapter carries 8 marks. Here there is a another one important concept, vector algebra. Okay, here for the vector algebra there are two multiple choice questions. Usually in multiple choice questions on the vectors they given direction ratios and and for finding the direction cosines, or based on the xyz plane they given some directions. Okay, on the vector algebra there is a one mcq question, as well as on the vector algebra there is a 1 2 marks questions will be asked. The 2 marks questions will be framed on the dot product. Okay, there is a one questions framed for the dot product. In that dot product there is a questions the concept projectile. Okay, project or unit area. Okay, or another one concept unit vector. Okay, here for that concept there is a 1 2 marks questions will be framed, and there is a 1 3 marks questions will be framed here for the cross product. Okay, on that cross product there is a 1 3 marks questions will be framed. Overall there is a 8 marks questions will be asked. Then 3D geometry. Okay, here the important concept is also 3D geometry. From 3D geometry there is a one MCQ questions will be framed. For that MCQ questions based on the xyz plane there is a one questions will be framed, and 1 2 marks questions will be asked, and for the 3 marks questions will be asked. There are three mainly three theorems are there on 3D geometry. On that theorem there is a one questions will be asked. Here overall 3D geometry carries 6 marks. Linear programming. Here this is the one of the most important, and there is a simple concept. Overall in second year concept linear program is a simple concept. Okay, here from the simple concept and there is a one questions for 6 marks. Okay, here there is a one questions from the 6 marks questions. Next again probability. Here the probability from the probability concept there is a two multiple choice questions are there. The two multiple choice questions based on the one formula. Okay, that is in the there is a operations. Probability of a on b is equals to probability of a intersection b divided by probability of b. By that property and based on the conditional probability concept there is a one there is a one two questions will be MC question and one fill in blanks questions. Overall 3 marks of the questions carries on conditional probability and based on the independent, okay, independent concept. There is a 1 2 marks questions will be asked from the probability, and again from the conditional probability concept there is a 1 questions will be asked for the 3 marks, okay. Overall it carries 8 marks, okay. From this much up to all the questions will be carries, okay. The weightage of the question paper will be 120 marks, okay. The overall framework of the second PUC mathematics subject. Here this video is helps to you, so please subscribe my channel. Thank you.